Hello, and thanks for checking out the video. Today I'm going to talk about lumber, logs, and specifically in my case about red pine. So I'm building a cabin, and I'm building a timber frame, and I'm building it out of red pine. I'm getting tired of people telling me you can't build timber frame with red pine and never support their reasons why. Some of the reasons I'm told I can't use red pine are it has too much sap in it, pine gum, pine tar, whatever term they want to use, and it gums up your tools and gets everything all messed up, and so you can't use it for that reason. Number two is that it warps. It twists and warps and gets all bent out of shape, and so you can't use that for timber frame for that reason. I'm sure there's another reason that I can't think of at the moment, but for now I'll just address those two. Sap, as far as that goes, all pine has sap, all soft wood lumber has sap in it, and it's a matter of the timing when you mill it, as well as making sure that you just keep your tools clean. As far as the warping goes, the key thing to keep in mind when you're dealing with lumber is twisty warpy lumber comes from a twisty warpy log. Bad lumber comes from bad logs. If you have a good log, you get good lumber. And to demonstrate that, I've got 3 boards here. I'm sitting on one of them. This one's a white pine. It's older than these two. These two are red pines that I milled last year. So these are a year old. And I'll show you the difference between the quality of the two and describe the logs that they came out of, as well as keep in mind that when I milled these and then put them in storage or put them aside to dry, I didn't stack them, I didn't sticker them, I just took them in to my shop and stood them upright in the corner, and basically got stood in the corner of my shop for a year. So that was their curing and drying process. So we have a 2x4 red pine, a 2x6 red pine, both milled last year. And then we have this white pine, which is many years old. This is just a remnant, a piece left over from being cut off of a larger piece. So we'll look at the ugly one first. So you can clearly see, looking at that, it's got a warp this way. It's got a whole bunch of knots in it. You can see that it curves this way as well. So it's going in 2 different directions. Well, that came out of the top of a larger log that had more limbs in it. And so as it dried, all of the flaws in it, not flaws, but all of the different grain patterns that were found within that particular piece of lumber, they all wanted to dry and straighten out in opposition to the way that the tree grew. That's sort of what you're dealing with in this. And in the second one, this is a 2x6 red pine, cut at the same time. If you look straight down that, you can see it's nice and straight. So that's a year of sitting straight up, standing on end in the shop for a year, air drying. Now if I lay it down, and you take a look at it down this side here, nice and straight, nice and straight. So for anybody out there who is disagreeing with me about red pine, explain that to me. The fact that this is a piece of red pine, not treated ideally, and no warpage whatsoever, no cupping, right? Like, it hasn't even cupped. So now that I've dealt with that, I'll go to this piece of white pine. I turn that up on its side, and you look down it, hopefully I got the right angle, you can clearly see that that is twisting. Okay, so from the other side it's not quite as obvious, but it's twisting. As far as this way, it's not too bad. It's got a bit of a crown to it, but that happens anyways. So That's a piece of white pine. All of this was just to say that when people tell you you can't do something, don't do this, don't do that, you've got to question the source of the information and ask them, well, why is that? Ask them to explain it. If they can't, then clearly they're just regurgitating something they heard. And because it came from maybe a source that they trusted, or I don't know why, but they've chosen that they're just going to accept it and regurgitate it and say, well, you can't do this. They don't know why. They never understand why. I like to know why somebody's telling me I can't do something, or why something should be done a certain way. If that's helpful at all to anybody, this information that I've given you about wood, if you'd like to hear more about it, I can maybe not do something that's impromptu like this one was, but I just had this conversation with my wife before I filmed this, because a friend of hers whose husband is in the building industry told her that, oh, you can't use red pine, and cited the reasons that you said. And so I just thought after having had this discussion with her and explaining all of this, I thought maybe it might be worthwhile for me to put it out there so that maybe some people can benefit from it. And if nothing else, at least possibly a takeaway from this is to, just ask questions. Don't just accept things at face value because, well, that's what so many people have told you. Unless they can explain their reasons for something, it's not that you have to discount it, but go deeper and find the information for yourself if you want. But don't just not take advantage of a resource simply because somebody told you, oh, you can't do that. Building materials are regional. What people use to build in different parts of the world or different parts of the country differ based on local availability of building materials. What built northeastern North America was white pines. Everybody just built great big white pines when they got here, nice and big and straight and long. They built two-story homes that they used what was called balloon construction, and that's a single wall joist that goes from the foundation right up to the attic, because they could do 20+ foot long, straight as an arrow boards out of those massive pines. However, you head out to the west coast, northwest coast, as again we're dealing with the northwest coast of North America, and their Douglas fir is what they used out there. That was the primary one, because it's stronger than white pine, and they grew bigger and nice and straight, so the same characteristics, but they had more of those than they had of the white pine, so that's what they used. Head over to Europe, and well, in Britain anyways, everything was built with oak, because that's what they had. The information that you get is usually regional. And so around here in this part of North America where I am, they didn't build with red pine because they had this other better material. It just became that, well, you can't build with it. Why aren't we building with red pine? Well, I don't know. You can't. It twists, it does all these things. So these things just get perpetuated. And almost like an urban legend, I suppose. So I'm losing my train of thought here. So as I was saying a little bit earlier, if this was beneficial to you, I'm happy for that. If you could let me know that it was beneficial to you, that'd be great. Just sort of leave a comment. If you have any questions, or if there's more information, like I said, I can get more in depth into this, not as an impromptu, and share what understanding and knowledge I have on the subject. Otherwise, again, like I said at the beginning, thanks for checking it out. I appreciate it. And if you liked it, check out my channel, and if there's anything there's not a lot necessarily going on there. I'm kind of all over the place. I'm trying to streamline it, and that's going to be coming up soon anyways, that I'm going to try and streamline this channel a little bit. And I'll leave it there. So you guys take care, and hopefully you'll see me in another video.